Okay, hello guys, welcome to the webinar tonight. We have a great webinar tonight. We are going to be talking about something that is necessary when we want to have a business that really works, and it's by having inspired action. One of the things to have action just for the heck of doing it, they all want inspired action, and I'm really excited about this webinar tonight. And the next 30 minutes or so, you're going to be inspired to go into action and to build an incredible business. Okay, here I'm going to be introducing Adrianne Carbonell McKenna. She's an executive to Start Golden Circle. She has an organization that's growing really quick right now. It's probably one of the best trainers that we have in Isagenix, for those of you that have not seen her in person, and she's amazing. But anyway, let me introduce here Adrianne Carbonell McKenna.
Thanks, George. Yeah, I'm really glad to be on tonight, and I'm excited that I was asked to speak tonight on tonight's BDP webinar. I've been in Isagenix for 5 years now. Well, this will be my 5th year for those of you that don't know me. And I am a 2-star Golden Circle, and I'm excited about what's happening in my business and in my life, and it's in my physical goals as well with Isagenix. And I'm very, very grateful to Isagenix. In my first 4 weeks of building the Isagenix business, I made $6,587, and I've never looked back. And I don't have any special degrees. I didn't even graduate college, actually. I just, love people and get excited about life and in general, and what Isagenix can do for people in their lives. And that's always been my passion. When I was introduced to Isagenix, I was just introduced by a neighbor, and it just blew my mind what Isagenix had to offer. And I thought, gosh, I can't be the only person who could get excited about this. And so I just ended up moving forward with the business and sharing with everybody. I did make quite a few mistakes in the beginning, and that's what I'll tell you. Go ahead and make some mistakes, guys. Don't wait to ask permission to go, hey, did I do this right? I mean, go ahead and make some mistakes and figure it out, because that's kind of what inspired action is all about. And that's really what leads into my webinar tonight. This is the second time I've talked about taking inspired action, and for me, that's doing the business, is just taking inspired action every day, which means that you're thinking about people and you're writing their names down and you're calling them. I mean, you're looking in your back office. Now we have that incredible business blueprint for you guys to look at. Just go in your back office, look at it, and go, gosh, who do I need to work with today? I mean, so it's really pretty straightforward, the business today. 5 years ago, we didn't have a back office business blueprint. And if you don't know where that is, you can go find it in your back office. It's just under my team, team reports, and it's right there for you. And now we have all these incredible tools. So I'm going to dig in here, and let's talk about real quick, you guys. We have a little bit, around 90 days, a little bit less actually, to Christmas. And to the new year, actually, is what I would think of, okay? So what I want you to think about is where you see yourself in the next 90 days. What's your financial goal in Isagenix in the next 90 days? What's your physical goal? And, maybe pull out a pen and a piece of paper right now and just kind of jot down a few notes, real quickly, just, what are my financial goals? Do I need to make an extra, $5,000 before Christmas? Would I like to take the products to the next level and, really go crazy with my physical goals? What does that look like? Does that mean you look, ripped and sexy in front of a mirror, or does that mean you're able to have more energy through every workout that you do? You decide to work out or something. So take a moment to just kind of write that out before we move forward. Okay, so let me give you some examples of some inspired action. Here's just physical goals real quickly. You see Jill Birth. I mean, she's all over. She's still just such a huge poster child of Isagenix. She tried everything. And, for her to come in and lose half her body weight, I mean, what an incredible, incredible physical goal. You guys, she set a goal. She literally said, I'm going to do this by when I will be winning the IsaBody Challenge. I mean, she set her goals out. I mean, she knew exactly what she wanted to do. Here's a picture of me last November. This is almost a year ago now. I'm up in the top. 11/8/2012. Now, remember, I've been in Isagenix for a while, but I was a little fluffy. I was enjoying life, and I wanted to do a bikini contest. I'm 31 years old, or I'll be 31 next month, and I have 8.5-year-old twin girls, and so.
They cannot see the picture.
Oh, they can't see pictures. The pictures. Oh, my picture or any pictures?
Whatever you want.
Uh-oh. Sad story. I wish you guys could see these pictures, you guys. So this is too bad because there's some phenomenal photos on here of Kathy Cooper, and you know, being 62 years old. Gosh, what an incredible achievement for 62 years old to just be as healthy and as fit as she is. And you know, it was interesting. I actually had the opportunity to work out with Kathy in Hawaii. And she is such a powerhouse, and she lives by everything she preaches. I'm telling you, she might stand up there, but she is every single day taking her ionics. She's doing her shakes twice a day, and she's eating really clean. I mean, she just loves to be healthy, and she told me that. She said, you know, the cool part is just being able to have, you know, a company that I can stand behind, really stand behind. And that's where she always says, if it's not right for the company, it's not right for the associates, and she means it, you guys. She really means it. Oh, I guess my screen's not showing at all. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We are working on some things real quickly here.
Yeah, he's going to restart.
He's going to restart it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just tell you real quick. I know you can't see these pictures. I feel like a fish out of water right now. I've got these incredible, you know, photos, but let me just share with you real quickly. If you could see my pictures, you would see that in November of last year I was 140-something pounds, okay, 146 pounds. In March of having set my goals, so in just a few short weeks, you guys, I finally started following a meal plan structured around Isagenix energy and performance products, okay? And what I did is now you can see. Okay, good. Yay. Okay. So you can see I decided to do my first contest. It was a national contest. And I honestly, you guys, I did not do very well in that contest whatsoever. What I will tell you is that going there and finishing what I started, going back out on stage, even though I didn't place top 5, taught me so much about reaching my goals. Okay? Because I still have wrapped my whole head around, oh, I'm going to place top 5 in this contest out of 39 girls. I'm going to do this as a national contest. And I ended up just getting to about 124.2 pounds. That was the best that I did at that time. But I learned a lot in my experience. I took that same experience, and just a few months later, from March to August, about 6.5 weeks later, I ended up March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, so about 5 months later. You don't have to be good at math to know what you're doing. But anyway, so 5 months later, I went down even more. I followed a program. I actually did Kathy Savage along with what I was doing, and I went down to 115.2 pounds, and it was amazing. Okay, but it wasn't the poundage. Okay, you can see that a lot of my muscle definition finally came out. It was continuing to do what I had set out to do long after the feeling had gone away. Because let me tell you, after the first contest, I cried my eyes out. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't place top 5. I'm a loser, right? I mean, who wouldn't say that after you'd wrapped your head around that for so many months? Okay, so you have to reset those goals again. It wasn't about getting there and achieving that or feeling like I had finally achieved success, because here I am doing it again, you guys, and it's now November, or almost November. So you have to understand, as we go through this, you guys pick a goal and continue until. So we're going to go more in depth about that. There's Kathy, who I was talking about earlier. What about our financial goals? You know, what about people like Lynn Hagedorn and Kathy Savage and Susan Sly? Oh my goodness, I totally look up to her. Here's Georgia Reese. Warren Lance, 7 years of just, I think he was like a 3-star or something for 7 years, and then he ended up finding, you know, these phenomenal leaders. So he never gave up, right? He continued until. So here's what I want to say. The worst thing you can do in this business and virtually anywhere is compare yourself to other people, right? Follow example, yes. Be inspired by them, yes. But don't compare yourself to other people. And I have this kind of funny quote from Albert Einstein: everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid, right? So same thing here. You cannot compare yourself to other people. If you're a fish and somebody else is a tree, why would you try to do that? Yeah, so you have to stay to your own course until you figure out what that really feels like. So here's some information for you. I want to ask you, how big is your imagination around your goals, right? Because we are our thoughts. What are our surroundings? What's around us? What's making us think that we can or we cannot, right? You know, what's making us doubt the fact that we hear things like this all the time and yet we still don't take inspired action on them? That's what this webinar is about. So let's talk about creation for a second. Because, you know, we are creators and we create no matter what, right? But we have specific patterns. What are these patterns going on in our mind, right? That are saying, you know, saying these things. You really got to watch yourself. So you want to give your mind new goals, all right, to go for on a regular basis. New things to go for, okay? Yes, you're going to continue until, but there might be something. You listen to a book, you go come back from an event, you listen to a leader, and something inspires you to go, hey, maybe I should try that, right? Okay, so you give yourself a new goal. Hey, Lynn Hagedorn said I should do 2 presentations a day, 5 days a week. Okay, and I've only been doing it 3 days a week or whatever, you know. So you make a new goal around those same goals, right? And then you learn, right? Learn to manage those new experiences because you'll be doing something you hadn't done before, correct? So don't let the fear stop you of doing something new. Let the excitement of learning to manage those new experiences really grow and develop inside of you until you're okay with it, okay? So here's some mind mastery. When you set a new vision for yourself, it's just a new thought that requires repeating. You guys realize you could, you know, do anything you wanted. You could plug something into your mind every single day, something new, okay? I mean, if you think about a CD you may have just bought, okay, and, you know, maybe there's just one song on there that you really loved, okay, and you're like, oh, I love that Katy Perry song or whatever, you know, and you start to memorize it because why? Because it's in your car every single day, all right? So it's the same thing with putting something new in. You guys could go, I want to be a better parent. You go find something new on being a better parent. I want to be a better leader. You go listen to, you know, your favorite leader over and over again. I want to be, you know, I want, you know, my dream body or whatever, but I just wish I felt different on a regular basis. Maybe you go after some kind of motivational meditation around that. You know, I mean, plug it into your mind every single day so that you can start dreaming the dream, because you have to dream the dream, you guys. You have to develop a huge imagination around your new goals. And that's how we do that, is we start by repetition every single day, okay? So if you set 3 new physical goals in detail for yourself right now, and then you go ahead and you set new goals around your financial success as well. So think about that. So you guys had an idea of what you wanted to create in the next 90 days, all right? Take a minute to really write out some new goals for just a second, jot some new things down, okay? 3 new physical goals in detail. Maybe it's to have more energy, to sleep better at night, to drop 10 pounds using the Isagenix program. Maybe your new financial goals are to do 2 presentations a day, 5 days a week, you know, work with your leadership every other day. You know, you schedule out an hour a day for, you know, each new leader you bring in that you really want to work with and help them get to the next level, because that's really what drives success, right? Okay. And the third goal is to make sure you hit every event this year or something. Okay. All right. So, and start with like, I'm happy and grateful now that, as if you've already achieved it. So placing those goals in the now is incredibly important. Not putting them when I do this, if I do that, right? It's, I'm so happy and grateful now that, you know, I'm, you know, prepared for every single Isagenix event. It's on my calendar for the rest of the year, and I plan my tickets in advance or whatever. You know, things like that, okay? Okay, so how does it work? It's always working. This idea of this plug and play, plugging goals into your mind, it's consistently working, right? It's always working. So you really do have to plug and play. You really do have to start visualizing things in your life, okay? So real quick, I want you to take a moment, because this is how this works, all right? So I want you to visualize your kitchen. What's the color of your refrigerator? And when you have it in mind, I want you to just like, you know, go, okay, yeah, I got that in mind, because I know half of you already have this in your mind. More than half of you already know. You don't have to walk downstairs. You don't have to visualize what the color of your fridge is. You just know, right, instinctively, okay? Because it doesn't take long at all. It's having that repetition in your mind, going in there, pulling food out, you know, buying groceries, putting them in, things like that. It's the repetition in your head. It's visualizing. That's the visualizing, okay? So I want you to visualize your goals, right? Visualize one goal right now. Maybe you visualize your dream body. If you think about it, did you know that upon attempting to visualize something that doesn't currently exist in your life right now, the first image that you'll see it in is actually in black and white. So there won't be much color around this image, okay, unless you've thought about it before, all right? But you'll see something in black and white, almost like a standstill picture of like a movie screen, okay? Then once you start working on that goal and really visualizing, it becomes more colorful. And sometimes if it's still hazy around the edges, okay, you haven't quite gotten there yet. You want to get there to where that picture's panoramic, okay? You can see yourself on stage at Celebration 2014 as a 3-star golden circle, okay? And you have one executive on the left that's in your organization, one executive on the right, and both of them are standing on stage or have walked across the stage as crystal executive. You want to really gain this panoramic picture in your mind in detail. That's where the daily do comes from, okay? From being able to go, okay, today, I know I'm going to do 2 presentations today, new ones, okay, through Facebook or whatever you guys decide to do. You go out, you meet new people, you prospect, whatever, okay? You get the work done. And you do it because that morning you thought about what it would feel like, about what that picture looks like, what color is the dress that you're wearing while you're on stage, you guys. I mean, think about it. Think about it. Don't just put it off and go, well, I'm going to do this right now. But, and you know, every day should start with some type of visualization process, okay? I really want you to stay awake more and fall asleep less to who you are. Yeah, because you know who you are. I don't, but you do, right? You are the source of your own power. And if you become more awake and aware, then your universe and your opportunities expand. And that's where going in and taking action on some of these new goals that you guys had set for yourself becomes achievable. Because even if you had the opportunity before, you may have passed it by. You may not have realized that there was this group messaging and you could message everybody out and remind them about your group call. You didn't know it. You didn't know because you didn't know, right? So if you stay awake more and fall asleep less to who you are, okay, and what your goals are by visualizing, all right, then new opportunities come into your life and you become aware of them. Yes, they were always there, but now you understand and you can take action on it. Because you don't take action on things you don't understand. Just FYI, okay? So then comes the belief part of this. Do you really believe? Okay, because even though it doesn't appear that you have money in the bank or that you're 30 pounds less, right, you get to imagine in your mind that you are not your condition or circumstance and decide to be your goals. That's what happens. That was kind of a heavy little statement there. So maybe read it again, okay? When you start imagining in your mind that you are not your current conditions or circumstances right now, okay? Then you decide to be your goals. Because your power is not in the condition, right? It's not in currently making $40,000 per year and feeling 30 pounds overweight. It's not, your power isn't in that condition because you feel powerless, right? It is in your vision, okay, that's going to bring you to this new goal. And yes, it is a stretch. It is a stretch for most of you. And that's why I'm talking so much and repeating over and over again. You're like, I'm not learning anything new, you know? I'm repeating over and over again this idea of really putting in your mind that vision. It was hard to see myself on stage as a bikini model, right, being sponsored and stuff like that, when I was 146 pounds. But as soon as I started catching into that vision of what that was supposed to look and feel like, and then I put myself in opportunities to feel it, even when I didn't make it the first time, I made it the second time around. I took home a first place trophy and 2 second place trophies. I did that because it was in the power of my vision. And it was a stretch for me to take action every single day, okay? But I did it because, right, it's the actions you take. If you really think about this, what actions would you take? If you signal to the universe, right, you start visualizing what you want, what would you do to achieve those goals? Those are the kind of questions you want to be asking yourself. If I was a 5-star golden circle, right, making $20,000 to $30,000 per month, you know, what would I do now to achieve that? Start asking yourself those bigger questions, and you will, I promise you, the questions will come naturally to you as you start visualizing yourself around your goals, okay? So once you say, I wonder if this really can occur, you switch the frequency to what you want to experience, and the universe helps you find ways to achieve it. That is inspired action. So you're going to start to tune into your goals naturally, okay? You're going to start to notice things you haven't noticed before. You'll have been inspired by thoughts that guide you to do new things. You'll make more calls. Somehow you make an extra call each day or something, right? You make more posts on Facebook. You make a new list. This is the funniest thing. I think people who've achieved Success, or what others would see successful, or financial success, physical success, okay? They have, well, let's just talk about financial, okay? They make a new list, all right? And they're like, okay, I got through the list, I've created some success, now I'm done. No, you're not. Okay, you go back and you make a new list again, okay? And you wake up with your goals in your mind by reading or listening to them, okay? How many of you guys have ever heard that it's a really good idea to record your goals in your own voice and listen to them every single day? There's a program out there called Life Vision. Our whole team knows about it. I know George has pushed this program several times because of what it's done for us, okay? And each morning, you guys, you can stay tuned into the right channel, which is your channel, by having these in a recorded version, okay? And there's so many ways to do that, and I'm not going to go into detail. That's a whole nother webinar, okay? But wake up with your goals in your mind. So just throwing that idea out there to you that you can write down your goals and record them in your own voice and listen to them every single morning. That's you staying tuned into your goals, right? Instead of turning on the radio or, you know, taking a moment to listen to yourself first before you go into 30 minutes of personal development, okay? All right. Oh my gosh. George, help me. Something just happened. Go back to, you guys, this is crazy. I am somehow throwing the technology off tonight. What am I doing? Okay, I gotta tune in to the channel of GoToWebinar. Okay, so, all right, so you guys, I want you to really think about this quote, okay? Stand guard at the portal of your own mind. What does that mean to you? Obviously, Emerson is a pretty smart guy, okay? He got some things accomplished. So what does that mean to you? Stand guard at the portal of your own mind. I am telling you, you need to guard your mind, okay, from the things that might have distractions. And we all have distractions, let me tell you. Having 8-year-old twin girls, still training personally training people on the side, you know, like, what makes me do this still? It's like I have to stand guard. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. That's the thing. That's the difference. You make your mind up and you go for it, okay? So, there's no picture?
He's going to send it right now.
Okay. So, and that's what I mean by that. When we talk about standing guard at the portal of your own mind, and I know probably I wish we had more interaction because I can't see what you guys can always write in questions and, you know, and say things and be a be a part of what we're doing here. But when you think about that, I mean, I really think it just means guard your focus, right? You know, and we've had a lot of talk about that recently in Isagenix because several of our events have been around that, right? Focus on your future, guard your focus, stay tuned, you know, things like that, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's talk about your will for a minute. We have free agency. We all have free agency. This is a God-given capacity, right? You either do or you do not, okay? And so the reason why this is important is because nobody can make you feel or think anything that you don't want to feel or think except you. And a lot of times we think these crappy thoughts about ourselves, all right? And it's so hard to teach, you know, self-image, just creating a new self-image. I really, you know, I think that is the battle, is seeing yourself in this new position of authority, seeing yourself at this new rank in Isagenix, seeing yourself in this new body. That's what I'm talking about when we talk about your will and guarding your mind and only focusing on that what you want and that instead of what you do not want, right? So nobody can make you feel or think except you. Start feeling better, right? Because an unmanaged mind will revert to your old patterns. I promise you, it happens quicker than you can even say, you know, success. Because what happens is we go back, we talk ourselves out of it. But you guys have been given authority and responsibility and the complete freedom to exercise your own will, all right, which is to feel the way you want to feel and think the way that you want to think, even if you don't feel like it right now, right in the moment. Okay? Here we go. Okay, feelings. Let's talk about that for a second because they're so important. I mean, I'm telling you, when you feel one way, like the day is cloudy or whatever, and there's rain all around, and you're like, well, I'm not going to go work out, you know? Or you're like, gosh, this technology on this computer, this webinar is just not working, and I just feel like I should be done right now, right? You know, things like that. Feelings are reflections of the state of mind. You have to control yourself from trying to move conditions around to feel good. Instead, forget about that
and make friends with the part of you that can notice what you're thinking that makes you feel a certain way so you can feel good. How many of you guys try to move conditions around every day so you can feel good? Be honest. I mean, think about it, right? You go in there, you see more debt than you see income, and you go, oh my gosh, okay, I need a debt consolidator, and I've got, and and you start moving all of these conditions around to try to help yourself. That doesn't mean there aren't great tools out there, okay? What I'm trying to say is instead of freaking out because you bring more freak out about whatever you're worried about into your life, you need to think about, okay, not letting the condition, again, make you feel a certain way, but instead notice what you're thinking, notice what your triggers are that makes you feel a certain way, and start feeling good now, right? So be grateful and relax. That's the first thing, okay? Because you don't have to have a condition change right now to feel better right now, okay? So get that in your head, okay? Priorities. When you make being aware of your thoughts the priority, right, then things start moving fast. Okay, so you just focus on what you want to accomplish, right? Because pretty soon you're a consultant, and then from consultant you go manager, and then pretty soon from manager you go director, director to executive, and all of a sudden you're at this full-time six-figure income, and you're like, how did I do it, right? Because you stayed on the task at hand. You've reached your weight goal, or you're happier when you look in the mirror, or you no longer feel sick, or whatever it is. Start focusing on those and making the priority just the priority. That which is just is, okay? So you just focus on what that is for you. I keep saying that over and over again because I don't know what it is for you. So decide, okay? And keep doing what you're doing. This is the biggest mistake I see professional networkers make in this business, or just even professional entrepreneurs, all right? Because all of a sudden we think we've reached a certain amount of success, and I have done this, okay? And then we stop. We slow progress down. We go, oh, I'm here. I did it, right? I became a two-star golden circle, whatever, right? So, I mean, be grateful for where you're at, but don't stop doing what you're doing, okay? Because, and I love this quote, whenever an individual or business decides that success has been attained, progress stops. Don't do that to yourself. Keep going. Keep doing, keep improving, okay, right? You just keep building the foundation, and pretty soon the foundation never is set because you're always moving towards a new goal, and that's a beautiful thing. That's where I think success is continuing to learn and to grow and to implement. So when you receive a new inspiration, okay, do it. Do whatever you tell yourself to do. If something tomorrow says, hey, this Adrianne girl's kind of crazy, but maybe I should go running tomorrow, do it. Okay? All right? If you're thinking, oh, this is a lot of information, I don't know if I got everything all together, but gosh, I really should go for executive, go do it. Go learn what that means. Okay? When you feel a good emotion about your goals, say thank you to yourself, because it's you telling yourself what to do. You always have the right answers for yourself. In fact, more so than anybody else does. Okay, and especially when you recognize change or change of thought, or I'm not going to say that about myself anymore, I'm going to start saying this. When you recognize change of thought, all of that, you guys, is action, 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 right? And this is a cool thing. I like to always say this. If you're not impressed by a certain condition anymore, it will shift very easily. But if you are impressed, or I suppose when you're impressed by it, it has you. It has you. And it's hard to get out of that situation, okay? So you really want to go, okay, I know I'm feeling this way right now, and I'm not an executive quite yet, okay, and I feel bad about it because, everyone's doing it as the thing to do, right, or whatever, okay. Pretty soon, if you stop being impressed by the fact that you're not that it yet, whatever, okay, start impressing yourself by taking action towards those steps. That's what I'm talking about. So be careful who you hang out with, right? Because you guys have probably set some new goals for yourself tonight, at least 3 in each category, right? Physically and financially. So be careful who you hang out with now, right? Be careful who you talk to. Be careful, really, the people around us sometimes are not always supportive of what we say we're going to do. So you really need to keep some of these goals, right, immediately in your mind. And don't go out and immediately share them with everybody. Maybe with your upline leader, okay, or somebody who you look up to, somebody who's not going to judge you for what you just decided to do, but somebody who you feel safe with. Go and share it with them, okay? But be careful who you're inspired, who you're around, okay? And the reason why is because you're either inspired by them or you are not, okay?
And, stay close to your leaders. Don't try to do everything on your own, all right? And be patient as you go through this new phase of your life, because now that you've set some of these new things, guess what happens, all right? People come out of the woodworks to really test, is this something you're really going to do? Okay, so be prepared for that. Don't be afraid of it. Just be prepared for it. But find people who you look up to, okay? Find people who, have what you want. And ask them how they got it. Be willing to learn, when they say, hey, I did this, go do it. Hey, I decided, instead of just talking about the product, I was really going to become a professional with this. I was going to start talking about the business. Well, go do it. Those kinds of things, okay? So be patient and move forward anyways. I love this quote too. If you're doing your best, you won't have any time to worry about failure. That's absolutely true. The second time around, I probably could have thought of all the reasons why I might not place top 5 in my bikini contest. I really could have, right? Because I had done it. So I'd had that experience. But instead, I thought to myself, how many times am I going to tell myself that I'm successful today, right? How many times has the Isagenix story been told today? So I went on the business side with this. How many times has the Isagenix story been told today? And of course, we hear that from Lynn Hagedorn all the time. But how many times have you told it to yourself today? Even before you went out and tried to share it with other people. Really think about what Isagenix is doing for you in your life, and really go with an attitude of gratitude. That would be my personal everyday goal as I'm going forward and I'm asking people what they need and what they want and how I might have a solution for this, or can I send you a video for that. You really want to think first, all right, about, just being your best every single day. So stay inspired, right? Stay in tune, stay believing. Stay in action. That's probably the most important part, because like I said, you won't think about anything else when you're in action except for the action that you're taking, and you'll be grateful and excited. And that's that. So I want to thank you guys so much for staying in tune with us tonight on this webinar, especially because we've had a little bit of some technical drawbacks. But again, that's the whole point of doing this. It's just consistently getting together and staying united and, continuing to teach one another. So thank you so much, and here's Dr. George.
Thank you, Adrianne. Great webinar. And guys, I hope you got a lot of great information that you can use today.